Hello, my friends. My name is Ryan Freeman on this sunny Friday, and I'm on a bridge over the Bajang River. You know, it's not so easy to find a good location to film. All of a sudden, sneaking out of the office because I tried to make a video. The first try was in the courtyard at my school, but as you can see, I was fighting off mosquitoes, so I decided, I should go somewhere to walk, somewhere peaceful. So I came down to this river where I have shot several videos before, and then I just see they're doing construction all along the river. And it's also very sunny, so I'm just gonna make this video. If it turns out okay, great. And if it turns out like my haircut, okay, now I have gotten several compliments, one from my dad, I don't think that counts, but one from _, who said, nice haircut. Well, let me just say, I don't know about that. I feel a little, oh, there's a beautiful little bulldog, French bulldog. Hi. So I used to live in Kaohsiung, and I had a regular person who cut my hair. Then I found someone who was better, also in Kaohsiung. And then, you know, I make frequent trips to Kaohsiung for jiu-jitsu, and then I would just get my hair cut by that person. But their price was going up in the new year, and I just thought, well, you know, I'm just gonna find a place in Chiayi City to cut my hair. And I asked my girlfriend to find me a place, because that's the benefit of having a Taiwanese girlfriend, is they will help you in all sorts of ways. Making doctor's appointments. Okay, I'm sounds like I'm using her. Well, trust me, I cook for her and clean for her, all right? It's a trade. It's a bargain. Anyway, she found me this haircut salon, made an appointment for me. So I go there last week after work, and I go to the wrong place. I walk into a salon that's really elegant in this beautiful old-fashioned way. There's an older lady, probably about 65, and she says, I'm gonna make your hair beautiful. And I said, is this the place my girlfriend got me an appointment? And she's like, no, that place is 2 doors down. They charge 150 NT. I charge 300, but I do a beautiful job. Now, she's saying all of this in Chinese. My Chinese is better, but a lot of this is just sort of implied from body language and the few Chinese words that I can make out. Well, I wanted to stay. I really had a good feeling about this older lady, but an appointment's an appointment. I've got German blood, and I don't like to be late, and I don't like to cancel on people, so I ended up saying, thank you so much, I will come here next time if I don't like these people that I have an appointment with. So I go 2 doors down, and I just had this sort of like, uneasy feeling. Not the bright, wonderful, welcoming feeling that I got from the salon that I wasn't supposed to go to. But I had this appointment, and I tell the lady, I said, whoa, what a new pengyo. Da dian hua ni. Wu dian. Some very basic Chinese. Like, my girlfriend called and I have an appointment. She's like, how? She has a mask. She's not very friendly. She looks like she's had some rough days. No offense, but she looked a little rough. And she's like, show me a photo. And I showed her a photo. I had like several lined up because I really wanted them to see it from different angles, what I was going for. She just looked at the first photo for about half a second, and then sat me down and began roughly buzzing away. And then 2 minutes later, about 2 minutes later, okay? Really, I mean, it was one of the fastest haircuts I've ever had. About 2 minutes later, she shows me her handiwork, and I was just like, ugh. Oh my God, this is probably the worst haircut I've ever had. So I wrote something in Google Translate. Can you please, sorry, the sun is just killing me right now. Can you please fix up the sides a little? Well, However that translated, she made the sides even shorter, so now my sides are extremely short and my top is long. And so when I wake up in the morning, my top is froed out and I look like an old school punk rocker. I don't know if punk rockers really look like that, but that's the impression that I got. Oh, dog on the loose. But it looks like a friendly dog. There are friendly dogs and there are some wild community dogs that just sort of roam around. I'll probably run into one or two of them. That's just life here in Taiwan. So one of the reasons I came here also to this Bajang River was at my school. There are these beautiful flowers on this tree that are pink slash purple, and it's a trumpet flower tree, something like that. And I just love those trees. I just love seeing them, the flowers. And one of my coworkers told me along this river they have the same one, but it's yellow. So I don't see any. I just see a lot of just regular shrubs and trees, not a lot of flowers. Some flowers, not a lot. And a lot of construction. I have no idea what they're doing here. In any case, what I'm doing here is talking to you guys. Oh, let me talk about something kind of silly that happened, but something that was very necessary. Now, if you are a foreign English teacher, you will be given a lot of hospitality at schools. Students will be delighted to speak English with you, delighted just to say hello to you. Not everyone wants to speak English though, trust me. And there's this one class I have, this one class that has given me more trouble than the other classes, the boys in the class. But I've made a lot of headway with them, but I don't know, something just switched. And with one of them, he was really disrespectful to me. He's become brazen over the past few weeks. And so I ended up being like yelling at the whole class. I kind of lost my cool, which was not cool. I wish I could stay calm and collected, but when my anger is roused, that's just so hard for me to control. And I'm not the only one. You know, if a local Taiwanese teacher loses their cool, I was literally in a class on Monday, and the student pissed off one of my co-teachers, and he ended up taking up 25 minutes of the class just yelling at this kid, making an example out of this kid. And I didn't do that, okay? I still did my job relatively, but it was just such a dissatisfying thing, and I was so upset. Well, here's the thing. Foreign English teachers don't generally have to deal with so many behavioral issues, it's usually the local teachers that handle that, and it's usually the homeroom teacher that will ultimately keep the kids in line. I've always been told, talk to the homeroom teacher. So this is the first time I've had to do this since I got here. And I ended up talking to the homeroom teacher of this student who scolded him in the hallway, and then ended up yesterday having the kid come up to me, bow and apologize. And I just said, hey, look, man, look, dude, I get it. You don't have to be my number one student. I'm not asking you to actually even speak English, okay? It's PE. Just don't make my life difficult. So hopefully that works out. It was awesome that the homeroom teacher as well as my coordinator were very supportive in that. My coordinator said, Ryan, be hard on these kids. They need to learn. And it's true, they need to learn. Back when I was a substitute teacher in a suburb of Los Angeles, I dealt with a lot of behavioral issues, but I handled it myself, you know, kicking students out of classrooms, sending them up to the office, you know, drawing unhappy faces on the board or writing their name, you know, the way I did it back then. But as a foreign English teacher, and you can't really talk to them. You know, because usually the students that are going to be your worst behaved students are usually the students, not always, but usually the students who don't have any English, and they don't want to. And maybe they even have some English, but they don't want to use it. So you can't really talk to them or reason to them. So you kind of need an intermediary to sort of translate. I am out of the sun and in the shade. Much nicer. So I guess, you know, wherever I go, there's always going to be noise or environmental issues, such as scooters. There's construction. You probably can't see it, but they got diggers digging away. Hopefully making the river better. I have no idea. Kind of have to duck here. I have noticed that if you are a really tall person, you will have to do some ducking certain places in Taiwan. I'm 5'10", 5'9 3/4. And I find I'm a pretty good height where I very rarely ever need to duck, but there are some places where it gets a little close. Anyways, I have to make videos on Fridays. If I sit in the office doing nothing, okay, I could study Chinese, but I can only do that for so long. I already did it. I could read my book. I already did it. I can only do it so long. Watch the podcast. I already did it. I can't just do things forever. I need some activity. I need to move and be creative, and talking to you guys is a good outlet for that. So give me a thumbs up right now, please. Yeah, so teaching English, living in Taiwan. We have our holidays coming up. So some classes that I have normally will not be in schedule next week, because before Chinese New Year, before the end of the first half of the year, everyone gets ready for this big final exam or midterm exam. And so a lot of the extracurricular classes, like club classes, my conversation classes, are canceled next week. So next week will be a lighter week. So I got the weekend, then a relatively lighter week of teaching, and then it will probably be an exam week where I might have almost no classes or very few. And then I will have a winter camp. I will be teaching 1.5 days of winter camp. Now, every school will do winter camp differently. In Jiayi City, all of the elementary school teachers will team up, and they'll be coordinated at different places and work together. And all of the middle school teachers will do a big middle school camp for about 40 students. So we've been planning away, and my responsibility is relatively low. I just have to get on the mic in the beginning and energize them, and then do an icebreaker with them, and then help them with the posters. Not a lot of work over 1.5 days, while other teachers share the load, which is amazing, because my last winter camp, I had a co-teacher, but I did a lot more classes over a longer period of time. So I'll have about 1.5 days of winter camp with the students, but 1 full day of just preparing. They like to get really well prepared. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm not that guy. I like to do things on the fly, just like this video. I don't like a script. I don't like to have too many things constraining me. My name is Free Man, and my Chinese name is Xiao Yao, which means the unfettered man. Okay? All right. So I'll have a lighter load of classes, then I'll have probably a pretty chill winter camp, at least a short winter camp. Whether it goes good or not, it's short. It'll be swiftly over. And then I'll have basically January 24th to February 9th of holiday, no work. And in that is Chinese New Year, which unfortunately it is actually a bit of a sad story. Oh, what am I going to do for Chinese New Year? I have no Chinese New Year plans. Now, I've been invited to my friend's house to have dinner, which I might do. My girlfriend doesn't really want to introduce me to her father's side of the family, which is where she'll be, because she thinks it's going to be a lot of drama if she does that. And I've got time on my hands coming up. And my mom's not coming out to visit me. So should I go somewhere? Well, if I go somewhere, I better buy those tickets very soon, because as you could imagine, almost all of Taiwan gets the holiday at the same time, and flights can be gone or disappear. Hotels can be expensive or booked. So I've got some thinking to do, but as you know, I like to do things on the fly, unless pushed into action. So I need to do some pushing of myself to at least decide whether or not I'm going to leave the country, fly to somewhere. I have looked at tickets. I would love to go to India. I know a lot of people don't like going to India. I just really want to go there, and I can't really go there summer holidays, because summer I go back to America, because it's a free ticket, and I never pass up a free ticket. So I thought I would go to India, but the prices weren't cheap at all, and all had long connecting flights, and I don't want to drop a lot of money to go to India only for like 10 days or so. I could go to the Philippines, which is relatively close and not too expensive to fly to. Or I could finally go camping in Taiwan with my scooter, like I've been talking about for a very long time. So those are the things I'm mulling over. I'll be mulling it over, scratching my head with this, $5 haircut, $5 US haircut. Well, it was $5 US, 150 new Taiwanese dollars to cut it, 50 new Taiwanese dollars, or $1.75 to wash it. So, you know, it might not be my perfect haircut, but I have gotten some compliments, and it was very cheap. So I'll be thinking about that, and I don't know, I am excited, you know. I like it when I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. And I can feel it's fun times are ahead. Not that it hasn't been a fun time so far. I have had a lot of fun, and I'm going to continue that with you guys watching. And I thank you so much for being on my channel. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like this video. Write any comments or questions you have for me, or anything you want to say down below. My name is Ryan Freeman. I hope you're having a happy new year. Bye-bye.